Hey guys, it's Friday, June 9th, 2023. And I got another short update for you after I ran this thing a couple weeks ago. Had some issues, but I just finished up work yesterday. Had my last run with the kids, end of school, and that was interesting, but that's another story. I had quite a few things go on when I was running, and first being that these darn pieces of wood came up again. I used First thing I used was construction adhesive, but second time I used let's see if I can get this to focus, a Loctite mirror marble and granite. They use it for doing mirrors and gluing down granite, and for some reason I had some of the wood pull up. And what's really weird, and maybe somebody can explain it that I don't know, but anyway, these guys are well adhered to the tender deck. I did clean those really good. When I pulled them off, I had it down to bare metal and had the wood cleaned off real well. And the only thing I can think of, is maybe when I was oiling these up with the linseed oil. Actually, it was tongue oil. I'm sorry. Maybe I got oil on the back side, but I did try to clean it with the safe version of MEK, and they're not holding. And maybe it's an unevenness or something, but I think I'm going to trust. I was talking to Claude, and I'm going to try the E6000. It's flexible, it's waterproof, and I haven't tried that yet, so I'm going to try to clean off what I can of the glue and try the E6000 and see if that works. And another issue I'm having is with the running board pieces, and you can kind of see that maybe the glue's not holding in some places, because I've got this decking is not 100% flat. Maybe I'm getting some gaps in there that it's not holding. But so that's one project. I also had two pretty decent derailments out at Medford, and that involved my little adjusting screw on the drawbar for the weight on the tender. And it worked really good, but it's a little difficult to adjust the tension on the bolt with a Phillips head screwdriver. And what I did was, when I was running, I had it set too tight, and I had that front truck riding a little high, and it picked the points on two separate switches, and I went all over the ground. I mean, I had everything sideways. So I did get a good test on the durability of the engine, and it did pretty good. But I had to put it back up on the steaming base twice to do an inspection underneath it to make sure I didn't tear something up. But that was kind of inconvenient to do the screw. And once I was kind of feeling it out, and I really only need it when it's going up a grade where it's starting to slip on flat track. I don't really need to have that screw dialed up, so I need to be able to adjust it frequently, depending on the grades, without having to mess with a screwdriver. So what I did was just something really simple. It's just a little handle on a bolt. So now I can just crank this up a little bit. If I need more tension on this, then I can increase it or just dial it back to no tension on it at all. And what it's doing, for anybody that wasn't following this, see if I can get a focus on it. I guess not. There we go. So what it does is it lifts. If I crank it all the way up, it's going to lift this one truck. So it's really riding pretty high, and it transfers the weight of the tender to the drawbar locomotive, and it seems to work really well. But it's just really inconvenient to have to use a screwdriver. So I did that. And the other thing I did, well, also, it's not the first time I did it. It's actually the second. Um, I had the thing all steamed up on the steaming bay, and I had it on the transfer table, pushing it back to get on it. And I swung my right leg over and caught the whistle and busted that off. And it's only an 1/8 inch brass pipe that comes out of the steam dome to that whistle, and I snapped that off, had steam flying all over the place, and had to put it back on the steaming bay and go up to the hardware store and get a plug so that I could steam the thing back up. I had to take this all off and put a plug in it, and I'm gonna try it again. I had one more piece of pipe. So I fixed it, and like a dummy, I'll probably do it again. But I'm gonna have to be really careful because this is just really fragile. And I had just a little chain on the thing. If I can find a smaller chain, I'm gonna use some that's a little conspicuous, but little peanut whistle chain. So I did that, and the other thing I did, the whistle on this thing has not really sounded all that great. And I wasn't sure why, so I just did an experiment. And this, well, let me take this off. See, this chain can just come right off. It's just a little fishing hook deal. But that way I can take this cab off. But like I said, the whistle wasn't sounding all that great. So when I did originally plumb this thing, I used. I think this is quarter tubing with the flare on it, and I think it might have been getting too much steam. So what I did was I redid it with 1/8 inch, just like the rest of the plumbing on on the locomotive. And that I test fired it. Excuse me, last weekend, and the whistle sounded a whole lot better. So I think that was the problem. So I like this setup better. And another issue I had when I was running, when I did this brake valve handle, this little Allen head set screw in here. I had that thing tight on the shaft of the brake valve handle, but I didn't notch the shaft. So when I apparently pushed it too far forward, and I had the valve handle about right here, so that when I released it, it was still like right here. So I had the brakes partially set on this thing, and no wonder I was having a hard time pulling things. So I had the brakes dragging on it. So what I did is I took this off and just got a little file and filed a notch on that shaft so that set screw will grab into that shaft. So I don't think I'll have a problem with that now. So that's kind of what I did, and this short update turned into a long one. But anyway, guys, I got the rest of the summer to work on this thing. I'm going to try to take it out the first weekend in July up at Train Mountain. So stay tuned for that, and I will talk to you guys on the next update. Thanks. Bye.